Hey, Jared here, back to do a little bit more work on my pumpkin scarecrow. Let this guy dry overnight, and he expanded really nice. I don't see, there's a little bit of cardboard right there, but for the most part, it looks good. Give you a shot of how thick it got. So, added a good, nice amount of depth there. The other thing is, you can see it's nice and secure. It's not going anywhere, and that great stuff holds everything in place really well. So, one thing, if I was going to do a standing figure, something like this guy right here, then I would take some sandpaper maybe and knock down some of the edges, and then I would put, the clothes on the dummy or the costume or whatever it was going to be to see, and make sure it fits nice and looks good. But for this guy, I don't need to do that. This is just going to be a pumpkin scarecrow. I want it to look all nasty and gnarly. This is going to play in really well with what I'm going to do next. Before I get doing much on this guy, the first thing I need to do is wrap this PVC pipe in some tape, because I didn't have an exact spade bit that was the same size as this PVC pipe, so it's a little bit wobbly. So there's a couple different things I could do. I could add another board, drill down further for more stability, or I can wrap this pipe in some tape just to get it to sit there while I'm working on the scarecrow. I didn't have any duct tape, but I did have some clear packing tape, so what I did was I just wrapped some paper around it and taped it, so now it will sit there real nice and sturdy while I'm working on the dummy. When I go to actually affix it to the scare platform outside, I will probably screw the PVC pipe into the 2x4, but I don't want to do that right now. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this 3/4 inch pipe insulation and I'm going to fix it to this PVC pipe here. That way my stem of my scarecrow man has some additional thickness, so when I do the next step, it's not going to just look like, a thin piece of PVC pipe and then a bigger, thicker body. When I'm putting this pipe insulation on PVC pipe, what I like to do is take this tape, packing tape, wrap it around the pipe a couple times, then go ahead and stick the pipe on like so, and then take the tape, wrap it around a few more times right around the pipe insulation. That way it's affixed to the PVC pipe and it's not going to go anywhere. I got my pipe insulation on there, and I actually put two pieces. I've got, let me see here, there we go. I got the one piece that's entirely wrapped around the pipe, and then I got another piece that I just opened up and taped to the front of it. After seeing just one piece of pipe insulation on there, I didn't think it was quite thick enough, so I taped a second one over top of it. But I think that's going to make a nice stem for my pumpkin scarecrow. That's what it's supposed to look like, is a stem. And I went ahead and I glued the body on and the arms on, and now it's time to take him outside and start the next step. I'm outside now adding skin to this pumpkin scarecrow. Let me show you how it's turning out here. What I've done is just take black plastic contractor bags, trash bags, and wrap it around the stem, and then take a heat gun and melt the trash bag and shrink it. Okay? And it gives nice detail. It looks like a vine to me, for sure, or a stem. A little dark out. It's getting dark. It's getting late. I got a late start on this, so it's hard to see, but you can see it's got nice pits and valleys and grooves. It looks really, really good. A couple things about doing this, though. Number one, as you melt this, it does stink. Fumes aren't good, so make sure you do it away. It's windy here, so the breeze is carrying it away from me, but if it isn't, I would suggest maybe hooking up a fan to suck it away or something. The other thing I want to point out that you have to be really, really careful with is if you are using this pipe insulation, this will catch fire. I have had it not like burst into flames, but start to burn. So you have to, as you heat it, really move. Don't stay in one place too much when working with this pipe insulation. You have to be very careful. I'll zoom right in on this and show you what it looks like when you're melting it. So I've got it wrapped. I've noticed that if I don't wrap it really tight, I keep it fairly loose, that I get better detail. So you don't want to do what I'm doing. You want to wear like some leather gloves if you're doing this. I have some, they just got wet, so can't use them, but don't be dumb like me. Wear hand protection because this plastic, it's very, very, very hot. So I'm just running the heat gun over the plastic, just gauging the level of detail with each pass. I'm not leaving it on there for too long because I don't want to catch anything on fire. I'm not standing on it for too long. Kind of hitting and moving. Oh yeah, that looks good. Lots of ripples, lots of detail. Looks nice and, I don't know, plant-like to me. I'm going to put it inside your haunted house. Be aware that if you take a lighter, this will catch fire. So, you know, it'll catch fire. But if you are going to have it in there, if you're going to have it, which I wouldn't recommend because it's flammable, but if you're going to have it indoors or outdoors and you're not entirely happy with the level of detail, just remember, it'll be dark. I got a late start, so I'm not going to be able to actually get this guy entirely done tonight, and I'm going to have to actually call it quits here in the next couple of minutes. But it's coming along pretty nice. I don't have quite an entire coat on it yet. I'm still working this area, and then obviously I got to go up the arms and do something there. But I wanted a couple things though. As you can see, it gets pretty hard. I mean, it's not soft plastic after you're done with it if you keep working it and melting it. So that's cool. But I do want to drive home the point that if you are going to do this, just be aware that there are fumes. And so do not do it in the house at all. Make sure you go outside and you have good ventilation because it does stink, and if you're melting it, you know, it gives off fumes. And the other thing is, because you're melting it, like I said earlier, you just have to be really, really careful not to catch anything on fire. So hopefully tomorrow I'll get him all fleshed out and first coat of paint on him. Until then, take care.